Hello. So today we're going to talk about white balance and how it affects images, and also we're going to talk about how to work with it in Pro Video mode on a Samsung Galaxy. So white balance is a couple of different things. We'll go back into mode. So this is standard video mode where it tries to automatically balance the white color. And you can see that I've got one thing in here that's white. I've got another thing, this is watercolor paper, that's white, that's pen and ink on it. And then we've got a seashell that's white. And the camera does its best job of trying to figure out what white should look like in this scene, but it partially depends on what kind of light I'm lighting it with. And this LED light I have can have three different modes. So this is a white light, that's also a white light, and that's also a white light, but they're all slightly warmer and slightly cooler. So I think you can see the difference between those three things, that they're slightly warmer and slightly cooler. So it depends on what kind of light you have shining down. Sunlight's going to behave differently than different kinds of LED lights will. And in standard video mode, the camera will try to adjust for that. You can then go into Pro Video mode. Pro Video mode on the camera has a white balance feature. So it will then let you set what you think the color white should be in terms of temperature in K. So there's a Kelvin temperature, and that's how light is generally measured. So if we go into the Kelvin temperature, this is at one far end of the range. This is the warmest range. You think of temperatures in warm to cool. And I could do a separate video about that if you don't understand warm to cool temperatures in terms of light and art. So this is the warmest range. And now if I click on here and start slowly scrolling down towards, oops, I get my finger, towards the cool end, you'll see as I go that the things should get a little less orange and a little more blue, because that's in general how the warm to cool colors work. So we are going down towards the cool end, and you can see that it's still white, but it's a different, we'll say, shade of white. People usually say a different temperature of white. So now we're down all the way at the cool end of things, and you can see that things look bluer. And then I can go to my LED light and switch these. So we go through the three different cycles, and you can see that they look less warm, even though the light hasn't changed, because our white balance has changed to the way we're taking into account things. So normally what you do is you use the auto mode, I suppose, or you put it somewhere in the middle where you're trying to balance yourself between the warm and the cool. Right, see, that gets back to very warm. We'll go back in the middle and try to get it to be not too warm and not too cool. You could play with the light setting if you've got a light that does this sort of thing to see what the different colors are. But again, a lot of this is personal preference. You know, does the wings look better when they're a little yellower, which is more the natural color of the paper, or when they're a little bluer, which is, we'll say, not the color of the paper under this light, but maybe it's the color of the paper under sunlight, and so on. So a lot of this is personal preference. What you like, the way one person adjusts it all could be completely different from the way a different person adjusts it. And if you say, I want it the way that it looks in real life, well, it depends what kind of light you're under. Are you standing under the sun? Is it a morning pale sun? Is it an evening sunset sun that's glowing orange? Even the sun doesn't give you the same looks at all times of day and times of year and all that other kind of stuff. So it's good to learn how this works, to practice with the settings, to practice with the light that gives you different options, and see what appeals to you, and know that it could change from day to day. It could be one day that you really like this look, and then let me slide this. It could be on another day that you really like this look and you'd prefer to do that. So let me know if you have any questions.